Hi everyone and welcome back. In today's video I'm going to be doing a drawing tutorial and showing you how I draw noses, and as always I just want to quickly say that I'm not aiming to draw realistically here, and if any of you are looking for realistic tutorials on drawing noses, then this is probably not the right video for you. I'm going to be showing how I draw noses, and the way that I draw noses is very stylized. So that said, let's get right into it. So on the very simplest, I don't put a lot of detail into noses. I quite like it when noses are more simplified. I put most of my detail in the face, into the eyes, and then the lips, and then the noses are the least detailed of the facial elements. So when I'm drawing a nose face on, I start with a little curved line like that, then I draw a curved line like that, and more or less like this. And that's basically what I do for a nose, and sometimes I'll draw a tiny little line at the top, and then this down here gets shaded. And then when I'm drawing a face-on view, and what I mean by that, I'll just doodle the face out here so you can see what I'm talking about. If I have a face, and this is very rough, so here I have my face. So here's the mouth, and up here are the eyes. So with the nose, I will draw it on like that, like this over here, but I don't tend to draw in the lines for the side of the nose. I do all of that in the shading. So I will go up here and I will shade with when I'm doing my shading, I will do my shading and I will shade in the sides of the nose, and I'll shade down here, but I don't tend to draw it in. So when I'm lining and drawing, this is pretty much all I draw. Those 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, and that's for a front face-on view. When I'm drawing nose to one side, what I do is I start with a line like this, like that, for the side of the nose, and then I draw a curved line like this, and then a line like that, and then it gets shaded up there. The important thing to remember when drawing noses like this is that this line has to be further back than the edge of this. So what I mean, I'll draw it in the opposite direction. So if you have this is your little turned up end of the nose, there's your edge. Now you don't want the line to come off there, because you have to set it back to the beginning of this line, and then you sort of curve it upwards. Now that is a very turned up nose. There are other sorts of noses that you can do that are less turned up than that. Normally that's a little too turned up for what I do. I would normally make it a little bit roundier, more like that. But it depends. You can draw noses where you come down and sort of draw like that. A lot of people might just draw a nose like that when it's on the side. For face-on views, some people just draw 2 lines to indicate the nostrils like that, and they do the rest in shading. Noses are often on drawings the most simplified aspect, and I'll just show you how I draw a nose on profile. So very roughly, here's the head. I have the line here, the curve of the head, and then I come out and go in, and then I have the lips, and then the chin and everything, but there's the nose, and then I just put that little line in there, and I put a little line in there, and there I shade. So that is how I draw noses on the profile, and there's the eyes, but that's basically what I do with that. I don't fuss too much with noses. Sometimes I may just draw a little nose. I try to keep noses on the whole quite small on the face, and when I'll draw this one out again so you can see it a bit better. That one didn't turn out so well. So when you're drawing a nose like this on the face, just come down like this, and these faces are really rough. I'm just wanting to show you the positioning. So there's the eye guideline, there are the eyes, this girl has her eyes shut, and then the nose, I come down like this, and like that, and then here's the lips and everything. But there I just place the nose like that on the edge of the face. So I really try not to overdo noses, because I find that when you have a face, you want the eyes and the hair and everything else to stand out more than the noses on the whole. And another thing that you could do if you're drawing noses is you start up here. But you could almost, you could join things up more. So you could have a nose that's like that. So on this one, I have it not so circular, and I just have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, and this line is always very faint. I make these lines stronger, but that top line is very faint. But you could join them up, so you have a nose like that, and then you could always go ahead and draw in the lines on the outside. It just depends on the style you're going for. But I do find with noses, the less lines and the less fuss, the better, because you don't want the nose to be so obvious on a face that everyone just stares at the nose. And I've seen other people where they just draw this like that, and then they just come down like that, or they just draw a nose like that. And most people, I do think, keep noses pretty simplistic, because you don't want it to stand out and wave at you when you're looking at a face. You want it to be a bit more subtle. Anyway, so that's how I draw noses. 1, 2, 3, 4 lines on the front, and 1, 2, 3 lines on a side view. And it's very simple. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below, and I'll try my best and get back to you. And if you have any suggestions for future tutorials, anything in particular you'd like to see, remember to leave a comment down below. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time.